Filling with food, warming with clothes, living leisurely without learning is little short of animals. Mencius. It amazes me how some people form opinions of different issues in their head and defend it with arrogance when they don't constantly seek knowledge and wisdom from outer sources, arguing about different issues of life with a shallow and undeveloped mindset. A mind that some people on this earth have argued and pondered if it is even real or just an illusion. And the funny thing about seeking knowledge and wisdom is that no matter how much you try, you can never have the capabilities to know a bit of a quarter of it all. But that shouldn't stop you from continuously learning. Oh well. Hello guys, welcome to another enlightening episode of History's Most Influential Humans podcast with yours truly, Damilare Mapa. So on today's episode, we'll be traveling down to China to learn from one of its greatest philosophers, Mencius. Born in 372 BC in the then state of Zhao, little is known about Mencius' childhood, although it is known that his father died while he was still young, so he was raised by a single mother. They were very poor people, but his mother was a very intelligent and smart woman, which helped Mencius immensely in being the scholar he turned out to be. A very interesting story of him and his mother that everyone listening should really learn from. Mencius and his mom first lived by a cemetery. Subsequently, his mother found him imitating the paid mourners in funeral ceremonies. Therefore, his mother decided to change location to a new place, which was near a market in the town. Subsequently, Mencius started to imitate the cries of merchants, and merchants were despised in China at the time. So again, his mother decided to move to a new location, which was near a school. Subsequently, Mencius was inspired by the scholars and students and began to study. And finally, his mother decided to maintain that location, which was part of what made him become a scholar. So as simple as this illustration sounds, most parents do not understand that where their children live or when their children grow up, the society their children find themselves has a lot to do in their future subsequently. Another story explains his mother's intelligence and emphasis on her son being educated. So once, while Mencius was still young, he fled from school. So his mother gave him an illustration in regard of his nonchalant attitude towards his education. She took up a pair of scissors and cut a cloth she was weaving in his presence, which translated that one should not stop a task halfway. This illustration indirectly inspired Mencius to concentrate firmly on his education. His mother taught him so much wisdom and pushed him towards the path of gaining knowledge and wisdom, which is definitely one of the reasons he became one of the most influential philosophers in China and also an influential human. His mom is one of the 125 women of which biographies have been included in the biographies of exemplary women written by Liu Xiang. Mencius is said to have used about 40 years to travel around China, counseling different rulers and sharing his opinions and wisdom to the people of China. As a descendant of Confucius, who was also a Chinese philosopher who lived before him and is nicknamed the First Sage, he gave his opinions on human nature, but is more in-depth and refined. Mencius believed that every human being was given birth to with innate goodness in their heart, possessing characters such as benevolence, righteousness, wisdom, propriety, amongst others. But what makes some people bad and evil is the terrible condition of our society, that is societal influence, that corrupts the human will. He says, "He who exerts his mind to the utmost knows his nature, and the way of learning is none other than finding the lost mind." Yeah, probably just a bunch of confusing quotes, but they have deep meaning if you think about them deeply. To back up this claim, Mencius gave an example of anyone witnessing a child almost falling down a well. This would trigger anyone witnessing this to experience an uncontrollable reflex action of shock and distress, which actually shows our true nature as human beings. This belief and concept is one of the widest known concepts of Mencius, which is on human nature, although it has contrary opinions. Well, it is left to anyone to think and resonate on and also gain knowledge and wisdom from. Mencius believed that it is through education that the innate ability of the human mind is awakened. Well, obviously not the kind of syllabus Nigeria teaches. He also denounced memorization and emphasized on active interrogation of any text, saying one who believes all of a book would be better off without books. Alongside comparing them with real-life experiences. Thus, one should relate knowledge and wisdom with real-life experiences. He had so many other beliefs and opinions that later on made him known as the second sage of China. A few of his quotes I found really interesting are, "There are no greater delight than to be conscious of sincerity on self-examination. Friendship with a man is friendship with his virtues. The way of truth is like a great road. It is not difficult to know it. The evil is only that men will not seek it. A man must not be without shame, for the shame of being without shame is shamelessness indeed. People are distressed by their inability to do it. The problem, however, is simply that they don't do it. Treat others as you would be treated. Devote yourself to that, for there is no more direct approach to humanity. Integrity, wisdom, skill, intelligence, such things are forged in adversity. Getting something done is like digging a well. You can dig a well 70 feet deep, but if you don't eat water, it's just an abandoned well." And these are a few quotes amongst others. There's so much wisdom to learn from the philosophy of this influential human, especially on humanity and life, if you wish to learn more, as he lived for about 82 to 83 years. But just as any text or new knowledge you hear, you'd have to figure out the truth yourself. Mencius died in 289 BC, but his philosophy lives on like he never left. Well, that's it on episode 26 of HMIH Podcast with yours truly, Damilare Mapa. I hope to see you guys next 2 weeks. And I hope that you have gained something and you have learned something new. Thank you very much for listening. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.